Okay, next one. Capacity of the principal. What do you mean by capacity of the principal? Okay? When we say capacity of the principal, hindi to yung capacity na naririnig ninyo galing or mula sa isang tricycle trivia. Okay? When we say capacity of the parties or the principal, okay? Always remember that the principal must be capacitated. Okay? Sino to sinasabi ni ma'am na capacitated? Dapat, when you say capacitated, yung principal dapat, let's just say si Pedro, di ba? Si Pedro, dapat marunong siyang or he is allowed or he is capable of giving his consent. Okay? Sino ba yung mga taong hindi makapagbigay ng consent, ma'am? Meron ba? Meron po. You read your Article 1327 of your family code. Okay? The following persons cannot give consent to a contract. Number 1 is your unemancipated minor. And number 2, your insane or demented person, your deaf mutes who do not know how to read and write. Okay? So, those persons are not allowed or are incapacitated to enter into a contract of agency. They cannot be a principal. So, the rule is, if a person is capacitated to act for himself or his own right, he can act through an agent. Question. I'll give you a situation. Okay. Si A is an agent. Makes a contract on behalf of P. Okay? Si P is your principal. Without the knowledge that P was a minor, di alam ni A na minor si P. Si P ngayon, he disaffirmed the contract. When we say disaffirm the contract, he denies. He doesn't confirm the existence of the contract. What happens if si A contracts with another person? Question: is A liable to the other party to the contract? The answer there is no. Okay? An agent warrants that he is acting within the scope of his authority. But being a mere mouthpiece of his principal, he does not warrant the full contractual capacity of his principal. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito, okay, as long as hindi ako knowledgeable that you are not capacitated to enter into a contract, as long as in my honest belief, okay, without a malice, without an intent to defraud another person, okay, my act is still valid. Okay? The other party, however, may claim against the principal who defrauded the agent. Okay? So, A is not personally liable. Let's go with the capacity of agent. Okay? Ano naman tong capacity of agent? Always remember na similarly to a principal, kahit sino pwede maging agent. Okay? The only qualification is that you must be capacitated to give your consent. You are capable to give your consent. You are not disqualified under the law. Okay? So, generally, anyone can be an agent. His capacity is usually immaterial. Okay? In the case of an agent, okay, since he assumes no personal liability, kasi nga trabaho lang, walang personalan, so walang personal liability, he does not have to possess full capacity to act for himself in so far as third persons are concerned. Okay? An agent derives his authority from the principal. and a contract made by the agent is legally viewed as contract of the principal. Thus, even one under legal disability, for example, minor, whose contracts are not binding upon him, may nevertheless act as an agent and bind his principal, although he cannot be a principal appointing an agent. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito, okay, as long as he is acting within his power, okay, pwede siyang maging agent, yung minor, pero hindi siya pwedeng maging principal because he is still unemancipated. Okay? So these are the names used to designate the parties. Other names. So for agent can be attorney, pwede sa mga abogado, attorney in fact. Okay? You can be an attorney without passing the bar, and you call yourselves as attorney in fact. Okay? So when you are attorney in fact, you always have your principal. Okay? You are the representative. So, pwede ba kayong maging matawag ng attorney kahit hindi kayo abogado? Yan, attorney in fact. Okay? Pero wag niyong kalimutan yung in fact. Okay? Next, you can also be called as proxy, the delegate, or the representative. For the principal, you have your employer, your constituent, and your chief. But of course, since this is a legal matter, a legal discussion, we will always be using the word principal and the agent. Okay, buhay pa ba kayo? Mag-boyfriend and girlfriend, relationship is fiduciary. So again, the nature of relationship between principal and agent is fiduciary. Meaning, it is based on trust and confidence. So, the agent is estopped from the word stop, diba? Stop from asserting interest adverse to his principal. Okay? So, ano to mga apat na to nandito sa screen? Okay? These are the obligations, primary obligations of the agent. Hindi lang to fulfill the obligation. Okay? Other than that, these are the important obligations of an agent. And what are those? The agent must not act as an adverse party. Meaning, dapat naman wag niyang kalabanin. Okay? Wag niyang kinakalaban yung principal niya. Okay? Number 2, the agent must not act for an adverse party. Okay? Let's say, si Ana, binibenta niya yung lupa niya sa Igig. Okay? Si Pedro ang agent niya. Ngayon, si Pedro nalaman niya na yung ex-girlfriend niya ay may bahay dun sa lupa ni Ana. Let's just say si Grace. Okay? Si Pedro, hindi dapat niya i-represent si Grace because Pedro is the representative of Ana. So, Pedro should not act for an adverse party. Okay? Next one. Agent must not use or disclose secret information. Of course, this is understood. Okay? That because it's confidential in nature. And lastly, the agent must give notice of material facts. This is one of the important duties of an agent, that is to notify his principal of any material facts. Actually, it's not only a notice of material facts, but all of the facts. Okay? Importante, sabi mo na lang lahat. Otherwise, baka ikaw pang madadali. Okay? Next one. So, what are the acts that cannot be done by agent? Ito na yung mga hindi dapat gawin ng isang agent. Okay? He cannot do any personal acts. Ano to? Okay? Hindi niya pwedeng ibenta yung lupa niya tapos and the receipt will be within in his name. Okay? Hindi niya pwedeng gawin yon. Hindi pwedeng siya ang makinabang. Example pa, making of a will or a last will and testament. Okay? So, what are these personal acts that cannot be done through an agent? Example, the right to vote during an election. Okay? Pwede mo bang utusan yung tatay mo na ikaw na lang bumoto para sa akin? No, you cannot do that. Okay? In a national election or local election, you cannot do that. However, in a corporate election, you can do that. But in a national election, you cannot do that. The right to suffrage or your right to vote during an election cannot be delegated. Okay, remember, because voting is considered a purely personal act under the Philippine Constitution. Another example of personal acts, okay? The making of a will. Ito nakalagay dito sa example ko. Making of a will which is strictly personal in character. Usually ha, hindi ko naman sinasabing palagi. Usually, the making of a will, okay? You make a will whenever you feel like your time is coming. Okay? Pag feeling mong mamamatay ka na. Not all the time, but most of the time. Okay? Example, si Pedro, may COVID. Alam niyang malapit na siyang madedo. So, ang mangyayari dyan, gagawa ng will si Pedro. Sabi niya, ay, tinatamad ako, yung kapatid ko na lang, si Juan na lang gagawa para sa akin. Pwede bang gawin ni Pedro yon? Sabi ng batas, hindi po. Because making of a will is personal in character. However, lagi niyong tandaan, pwede bang gumawa, may utusan si Pedro, for example, pilay si Pedro, hindi siya makasulat, bedridden na siya, but he can still say his wishes. Okay? Can he do that? He can do that through a notary public. Pedro should make his will with the assistance of a notary public. Okay? What is a notary public? Those that are authorized by the Supreme Court. Those are lawyers authorized by Supreme Court to act as a notary public. Okay? When we say notary public, you can convert the document from a private document to a public document through sworn or certification or attestation. Okay? Next one. Another example is those that are acts which must be under oath. Okay? Paano yon? Example, na permanent ka sa trabaho, nakuha ka bilang teacher. Okay, nakuha kang teacher. Si Pedro, naka-permanent as teacher. Kaso si Pedro, masadot. Tatamad siyang pumunta sa eskwela ngayon para mag-oath taking. Sabi niya, ay, yung girlfriend ko na lang, si Grace na lang. Total, masipag naman siya. Okay? Grace, ikaw na lang pumunta doon, tas ikaw mag-oath taking para sa akin. Can you do that? Under the law, no. Because oath taking is personal in character. Okay? Next one is another one that cannot be done by an agent is your illegal or your criminal acts. Ano naman tong mga to? Okay? I'll give you a lot of examples. Number one, example is under our Constitution, our 1987 Philippine Constitution, okay? Aliens are not allowed to own private agricultural lands. That is provided in your Article 12, Section 3 of your 1987 Constitution. Okay? An alien cannot purchase a land through Filipino agent. So, madaling salita, for example, si Richard ay isang Amerikano. Okay, pumunta siya sa Pilipinas, mayaman si Richard. Pwede bang bumili ng mga private agricultural lands si Richard? The answer there is no. Ma'am, paano yung agent? Pwede ba sa agent? The answer there is also no. Okay? Another one. Anyway, given naman yan, yung mga illegal acts and criminal acts. Okay, how do you determine or how do we determine whether or not there exists an agency relationship. Kailan ba natin malalaman, ma'am, na meron pong agency relationship? Kailangan bang nakasulat? The answer there is no. Contract of agency can be made orally. Okay? Hindi kailangan nakasulat palagi. Can be oral. Di ba kasabi ko, one of the characteristics of contract of agency is consensual. When you give your consent, do you always put it in writing? No. Okay? You can also give it orally. Okay? Next one. Let's go with the knowledge of agent imputed to principal. Ay, magkinig po kayong lahat kasi may quiz po after nito. 10 minutes lang. I will immediately give your scores. Okay? Sisend ko na lang sa email ninyo. Okay. Let's go with the knowledge of agent imputed to principal. Ano itong sinasabi ni ma'am na knowledge of agent imputed to principal? Okay. Always remember na discuss ko kanina that the agent has the duty to notify the principal all the material and the important facts about the obligation. Okay? This duty is readily apparent when it is borne in mind that the knowledge of the agent is imputed to the principal even though the agent never communicated such knowledge to the principal. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin nito, it is only logical, okay, that the agent is required to notify the principal of all matters that came to his attention. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, hindi lang kailangang material facts. Yung material facts is just kumbaga, the highest. Okay? So, lahat ng facts ibigay mo. Hindi lang yung mga material facts. All matters that came to his attention, okay, that are material to the subject matter of the agency. So, a typical illustration, example po, ng agent's duty of notification is, okay, example is having the authority to buy property. Okay? Then you learn that the property is encumbered or naisangla. Yung lupa pala na binebenta ay naisangla. Okay? Pero hindi nyo alam na may ganong matter. Hindi na sa inyo. Pero nalaman mo at the time of transaction that it is mortgage or encumbered. In that case, you have to or you have the duty as the agent to notify your principal about such material fact. So, the knowledge of the agent will be imputed to the principal. So, the principal acquires the property subject of the mortgage. Okay. How about the relationship of attorney and client? Anong ibig sabihin po nito? Diba, sabi ko nga sa inyo, the relationship of in a contract of agency is fiduciary. When we say fiduciary, it is one of trust and confidence. Okay? So, the relationship being one of confidence, there is ever present the need for the latter being adequately and fully informed of the mode and the manner in which his interest is defended. So, in this case, he is entitled to the fullest disclosure of why certain steps are taken and why certain matters are either included or excluded. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito, si principal ay may karapatan na malaman, okay, kung bakit, okay, meron ito, meron yan, bakit nagawa ito, bakit nagawa yan, okay, bakit nagbayad ka nito, bakit hindi mo binayaran ito, and other questions or other matters, okay, na it should have been included but was excluded, or it should have been excluded but was included. Okay, so vice versa. So, next one is your knowledge of the principal. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, all the acts of agent as long as he acted within the authority given by the principal, okay? It is implied, okay? Implied that the principal has the knowledge of such acts. Okay? Next one. So, these are the exception to the rule. So, ito kasi yung rule, general rule. Yan. Okay, tandaan nyo yung tatlong yan, ha? O, screenshot niyo. Yan. Tatanong ko yan sa assessment niyo at the end of this month. Yan. Next one is exception to the rule. Okay? Where the agent's interests are adverse to those of the principal. Ano to? Anong ibig sabihin ito, mama? Teka lang, hindi na namin naiintindihan. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin lang nito, okay? Yung una ko kasing diniscuss, ito. In short terms or in short words, okay? Ang mga knowledge na napunta or came of attention of the agent, okay, is binding to the principal. Yon. Okay. Ang exception, baliktarin natin. Kailan naman po na yung acts ni agent hindi binding kay principal? So, these are the exception to the rule. Number 1, where the agent's interests are adverse to those of the principal. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito, magkontra yung interest ni agent dun sa interest ni principal. Hindi sila magkasundo. In that case, si agent hindi niya pwedeng gawin yung gusto niya. Okay, kasi ang dapat niyang gawin is yung gusto ni principal. Okay, number 2, agent's duty is not to disclose the information. Okay? And number 3, where the person claiming the benefit of the role colludes with the agent to defraud the principal. Ibig sabihin, lolokohin po nila si principal. Okay? Next one. Question. Is agent subject to principal's control? Kontrolado ba lahat ni principal yung actions ni agent? The answer there is yes. Because otherwise, of course, when we say control here, when we say control, it is the legal control only, not that of illegal. Okay? Is it subject to principal's control? Of course, yes. However, you cannot mandate a person to become your agent. Hindi mo siya pwedeng pilitin na maging agent. Pero once na pumayag siyang agent, okay, lahat ng binigay mong terms and conditions sa kanya, dapat niyang i-follow. Otherwise, you can cancel your contract of agency. Okay, this will be our last topic for this day. Okay, so